it's Miss Amy. This is a very special book, and it was written by one of our Supreme Court Justices, Sonia Sotomayor, and she comes at it from the perspective of her having diabetes when she was little. So she had childhood diabetes, and I love what she says about all the people, all the kids we're going to read a story about in here, that they're different abled. I love that. Not disabled, different abled. So this story is about celebrating all different kinds of people and the way that they go through life. It's very important to remember that we all look at life different, and we all walk through life and experience life a little bit differently. And that's where our open-mindedness and our understanding and our empathy comes into play, and also to appreciate the way that other people live, that we don't all have to live the same for it to be correct. There are a lot of ways to live a really blessed and fruitful life. This is a really beautiful story, and it says, be different, be brave, and be you. Just ask. This says, hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places, and they really are. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight, while others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. So the word fragile means they're more delicate and they could break easier. And the word hardy means they're just a little bit stronger and that they can go farther with less attention. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry. Others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet, while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you are curious about each other, just ask. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? This little girl is giving herself an insulin shot. So this is based on Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. When she was little, she had to do this. Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood and give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes, and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. This says, do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? I'm sure everyone has an example of a time when they've needed to take medicine, haven't really wanted to, but it's something they needed to do. I do. My name is Raphael, and I have asthma, which means I sometimes have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and use an inhaler with medicine to make my breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. That's true for everybody. My inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? So that's what Raphael needs. And look at those beautiful eggs that he's painting. Look at his talents. I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. My name is Madison, and my guide dog Lucky helps me to get places safely because I'm blind. My friend Arturo is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. I'm Vijay. I learn about the world differently because I can see but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? I'm Bianca, and I have dyslexia, so I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I am very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? She's asking. I know all of you are very good at something and have your own special gifts and talents. I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate Tiana also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk. But I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? So I know there's plenty of my friends that I talk to out there who love to talk about dinosaurs as well. For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is An, and I speak with a stutter, so I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I bet we all feel like that sometimes. Like we're talking, but is anyone really listening or hearing what we're saying? I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I'm not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me, but it helps me when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? We all feel frustrated about something sometimes. My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me, if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. What's helpful to you? We all need someone to help us refocus and get back on track sometimes, and all of us get the wiggles sometimes too. So it's important for adults to remember that kids can only sit for so long without getting up and getting their wiggles out and stretching and moving. And a lot of adults are like that too. Miss Amy's like that. I have a case of the wiggles quite a bit, and it's hard for me to sit still. I usually need to get up and stretch or kind of get a little change of scenery after a little while. I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it's nut-free because I am allergic to nuts. That can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even by accident. So I always tell people about my allergy and ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. How do you use your voice? So this little boy is saying to the squirrel, no thank you. No acorns or nuts for me. I like how he said, speaking up keeps me healthy. I think speaking up keeps all of us safe and healthy, and always in a kind and quiet way. We don't have to yell and scream, but we need to stick up for ourselves always. And also, when something could hurt us, we always need to let people know that. That's part of using your big voice. I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in their bodies. But we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything that any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? Just like Miss Amy was saying in the last book, asking questions is the best way that we all learn. This says, it's me, Sonia again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers, and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It may also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. That is so true. And just like all of these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world to make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers, everybody? So think about that question. What will you do with your powers? We all have powers, and we all have abilities, and we all have challenges and things that we need to work on. So I think this is a beautiful illustration of different ways that people live, and I love the just ask. So we ask in a kind way, but if we're curious about something about someone else, if we just ask in a kind way and come from a place of being truly interested to learn about them, that's the best way always. So this is a beautiful story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it helped you learn something new about the different abled ways that people live. And Miss Amy, as always, from my heart to yours, wishes you well. And I want you to have a beautiful day. Mwah. And be blessed.